In this video, we want to go through and show you how to place options orders. You'll notice that we're on the Options tab within the control panel. The first thing you see is the mini accounting window. Now I'm not going to go through in detail the mini accounting window in this video because that's been covered in other videos, but I do want to drop down here and show you some of the features of the Options control panel. The first thing you'll notice is that the quantity of the number of options we want to trade. Now we can use the spinners to increase or decrease that to the number we want, or we have these quick buttons that you can use to just quickly identify the quantity of options you would like to trade. These are customizable by right-clicking on the buttons and changing the quantity here. So we can also come in and we can say that we would like to display in our table down below either just the puts or just the calls, or we can have them interlaced by having both selected here. You'll also notice that these are the buttons that we use to place the orders of the options, but before we choose the options that we want to place, we need to choose which time frame. You'll notice that we have the ability of showing multiple time frame options on the same chart, multiple expiration dates. So for example, this is the table of options that are going to expire in 1 day. If we have the drop down here, this is the options that are going to expire even within 8 days. So let's say we want to place an order for an option that's going to expire in 8 days. Let's say we want to buy a call option. Very simply, we have two choices. We can right click on the call option button and you'll notice that we have the ability to place place the order to liquidate or buy at the bid ask, which is the fastest. Okay, it's going to get you in at either the bid or the ask. And then we have the ability to place or liquidate the option at the bid ask midpoint. Now you will get a better price on this one, but it may not fill as quickly. So for the default, we place this at the bid ask or the fastest fill. So let's go ahead and place an option order. We're going to buy a call simply by left clicking on the button, sliding it to an option placement, and you'll notice that it jumps between the different strike prices. As it jumps between the different strike prices, it displays on the screen all the pertinent information that you're going to need to make your trading decision. You can see the theoretical value, how much you're going to pay for the option, what the spread is. You're going to see the expiration date. You'll also notice that the purple expiration line appears on the screen as well. You see the open volume and the open interest and the bid and the ask. Once you determine that you've found a location or a strike price that you're happy with, you just release the mouse button. It pops up the options order confirmation dialog box, gives you all the pertinent information once again to confirm your quantity, what type of order that you would like to have, and it gives you the statistical value of the different features or the different values of the option. If you were a little bit confused and you would like a little bit more help, you can simply click help and it pulls up an additional information window that allows you to come through and get some of the information about what's going on within the option. And then we can reduce that back to the minimum size, and then we're going to go ahead and hit OK and confirm our option purchase. We now have our option, which has been placed into the market, and this is our option. We can now come down and to liquidate the option. Very simply, we can right click on the triangle here. This is the, notice that it is lined up with the date in which we made the purchase. We can come in here and we can say liquidate the option. We can look at the properties of the option, and of course this is coming in here and allowing us to decide what we would like to have displayed on the options line. And then to liquidate the option, we can come in and say liquidate the option. But before we do that, I want to come back to the options tab, and I want to say that what we want to do is we want to sell the call option. So we're going to put that on liquidate. And now when we liquidate, we're going to say liquidate the option, say OK, and you'll notice what happens is we end up with a pending order. So because we're not receiving the price that we asked for immediately, we're asking for a better price than what is being offered at the bid or at the ask, we're going to get a pending order, and that's why this order is changed to yellow. So now let's say we want to come in here and we want to delete the pending order. We can just simply right click on the triangle, say delete order, and it deletes the pending order. Now if we want to liquidate the option, we can simply come in here, right click, place our default back to the fastest fill, and now when we come in and we right click and we say liquidate the option, you'll notice that it will liquidate immediately. The next feature I want to show you is the interest rate button. The interest rate button is used to help us identify what the theoretical value of an option is. The theoretical value being that, of course, what we feel like almost like what you would consider the Kelley Blue Book of options. And so we have a mathematical calculation that tells you what the option should be valued at, just as you would in a Kelley Blue Book for a vehicle or a car. You say the car is supposed to be worth $5,000. But the owner is asking $6,000 or is asking $3,000. If the owner is asking $6,000 for something that's valued at $5,000, they're asking a premium. They want more money for it than what it's actually worth, or what it's calculated to be worth. If they're asking $3,000 for something that's valued at $5,000, they're giving you a discount. They're selling it to you for less than what it's calculated to be worth. Well, the theoretical value of an option is basically the Kelley Blue Book of options. It tells you what the option's theoretical value is, and one of those formulas is based upon the interest rate. So we have to put in the daily interest rate, and based on the option in which you're using, okay, if you're looking at an option that doesn't expire for 71 days, you'd want to use the interest rate that is projected out as close to that time frame as possible. And we give you an interest rate table by simply clicking on this hyperlink. This will open up a web page that gives you the interest rate. You can take the information that you need for the certain time frame that you're looking for, enter that information in here, and that's going to give you a more theoretical value for your option. The last thing I want to show you is you can slide this window quite wide, and this is going to give you more information based on each individual strike price of the option. And you'll notice we come across here and we show you a number of different statistical values for each individual option. You can see the premium, the theoretical value, the volume, the open interest, the bid, the ask, the last, the change. We also go into the Greeks out here. We have delta, gamma, theta, vega, and rho. But this is a very important several columns here, which give us the probabilities of being in the money, out of the money, or the probabilities of touched. And we'll go into these in greater detail in other videos. And one last thing I want to show you about this table is we have the ability of placing orders right off the table itself. We can simply come in here and say I want to buy the 1920 call. All I have to do is right click on the 1920 call and I get the buy or the sell feature. We can go ahead and hit buy, and it pulls up the same options confirmation order dialog box. We can go ahead and hit OK if we would like to place the order, or hit cancel to cancel out. And so this has just been a quick overview or review of the options control panel.